Hey, we have introduced officially on EWABS tonight the voice-optimized headphones, which come with your little brochure and a vinyl bag, and then the cans themselves in the box. I have set out. We set out to. I'm talking about creature comforts, and if you got, because both Dan and George have been experimenting and critiquing the cans. If you guys talk about the audio quality, and I'll talk about the creature comfort. That sound okay?
Sure.
Okay. We did a number of things to make these much more comfortable because, back in the day being in a studio, you didn't wear headphones that long. Sometimes you don't wear them at all, or you wear one. But at home, for a lot of us, a lot of people don't even have studio monitors, or they live in an apartment, or they live in a scenario where they can't be cranking up volume, so they maybe even mix with headphones, whether you like doing that or not. I generally don't, although I do have a client recently, an e-learning client, who specifically requests that you do that because the e-learning programs they do are all listened to on headphones.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's totally, I thought, well, good for her to even think about that, and particularly anything. She said, please, if you possibly can, master everything on headphones. So I wanted to make something that was different and made more sense. The first thing is they weigh a little over a half a pound, but they still have big drivers. They're 48 millimeters, so we got lots of power. I was flying back from Florida with my wife not too terribly long ago, and she said, what the hell's all over your face? I love you too. I said, wrinkles? No, you have black crap all over your face. I said, well, my Bose noise-canceling headphones, which are not suitable for voiceover work in any way, shape, or form, but they're great on the plane. After 2 or 3 years, the vinyl starts to, flake off. So why is it vinyl? So what we've done with these to make them super comfortable and avoid that, this is all leather. The ear cups are leather. The whole top band is sewn, and that's leather. So we avoid that. It's just a nicer feeling on your skin. We went to memory foam here rather than regular foam after my son was telling me about his, what's it called, Tempur-Pedic bed. Oh, Dad, look, this bed is so...
That one.
This is how sick I am. Looking at the bed, that's really cool. We could use those in headphones. Why not?
Yeah.
So if you glasses, this is really nice stuff because it just wraps, like Dan does right around. If you like wearing one can, because that's what Dan is doing, this can flip up and pop that one down. I prefer that myself. And stainless steel, we made, the little marks that everybody has. Nobody ever numbers them. They're numbered. I know I'm a 5. That's my sleep number. I put them on. And I like, it's this is funny, but creature comfort. You either love curly cords, coiled cords, or you like straight cords. I've tripped over too many straight cords, but I never liked the ones where the curly cord came out alongside you. It's kind of distracting. So we went for a straight cord. Yeah, married to a huge mesh cord. And these are longer than most. You can get 10 feet out of this, and that's just personal because my whisper room is right over there. We're all one-arm paper hangers in this business. So, you're recording, and they say, hey, Harlan, could you play back track 2 and 3? Sure, hang on. And then I run out here, and I play them back, and then I run back in there. And so this allows you to do that. The light, they've got the, the usual gold-plated plug so you can do mini or, what do you call the mini or quarter-inch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all. That's the kind of the creature comfort things that I was going after. Once I heard these drivers, they were not in these headphones by any means, but I thought, ooh, I think for voice these are good because we're not doing gaming. We don't want, how did you put it, Dan? Endorphin producing bass, even though I love that in our voices, that's not good for this. So I'm really, really thrilled with how smooth the sound is. What did you guys think?
Well, the first time I listened to them, it was like, why is it taking so long for someone to come up with this? And because I always thought that most headphones are just way too bassy for voiceover. And, and the reason I keep one up is because I need to hear my own voice in my own environment and use this for communication. But these have it's flat across the spectrum. It's not, it's got a little bit more mid-range to it, but the low end is at the same volume as everything else. So it's not distracting as far as, trying to make yourself sound like really deep and bassy, especially when, if you're Lisa Biggs, I guess. But it's got a nice, even sound to it that doesn't overwhelm you one way or another. But the thing that I really like about it is how incredibly clear the sound is, that you actually can hear dimension in the room from these things. It's just something you can't really get from, a pair of earbuds or, even my duct taped up Shure headphones that I have. I was going to grab those out when you were talking about duct taped headphones, but these have, I was listening to George's studio this evening. We were warming up here, and I'm like, I can actually hear what it sounds like, what I remember being in that room with you, because it just seems to recreate total reality, which to me is the most important thing, because like a good pair of studio monitors, you want to hear exactly what's you're putting out. And these headphones do that in spades. I mean, they're really, really nice. It's, like I said, it's even across, but it's real at each individual frequency, and there's a nice separation between frequency. There's no bleeding between them. You hear exactly what is going through your software, and that's what I like. What did you think, George?
Yeah, I have to agree. I'm going to a full shot here so I can show some more details, because people are asking questions in the chat room. How adjustable are they? Somebody asked. They're they have a pretty good range of adjustability. So if you can see there, that is the range of adjustability on one side or the other. Okay, so I haven't tried them on my 4-year-old's head yet, but most headphones are too big for a kid that size. But I think these are going to work on most people's heads pretty comfortably. Another detail I like about the design, one thing I don't like about the Sony headphones, and I'll compare these pretty heavily with the Sony MDR 7506, is because those are so popular and in so many studios. I hate the way the little wire right here on the Sony headphones always ends up getting caught in this part of in the yoke. It always ends up getting stuck here, and then when the headphones are flipped into position, the wire is being pinched between the cup and the yoke, and they get worn out, and eventually they break. Now, on these headphones, the wire is very, very nicely contained inside the yoke here. And this is really hard to demonstrate on camera, but try. But the wire comes down, it's inside the yoke, and then goes through the center of the pivot into the ear pad. I mean, again, it's one of those little details, but if you use headphones for years and years, you'll keep killing the Sonys because they'll just keep breaking on you. From a sound perspective, again, comparing them to the Sonys, these are much smoother on the top end, where the Sonys tend to be very, very bright and, to my ears, harsh. These are not. These are the opposite of harsh. They're very smooth on the top end. Compared to my venerable Biodynamic DT770s, which are about $250, these are a little bit more sizzly on the top and a little bit more bottom. So these go a little bit further up and down, but they also are slightly overly exaggerated on the bottom and the top. Whereas these are a little bit more honest, a little more accurate. The first thing I actually listened to on these headphones was music. I plugged them into my wife's iPad mini, and I was listening to Spotify, and I was trying to find tracks that I was really familiar with. And I was really amazed at how smooth they sound. And again, the bottom end isn't bass exaggerated, but I was watching House of Cards with Kevin Spacey, and it had one of those synthesized, boom sounds that was kind of, a dramatic scene. And you could really feel it. You could feel the bass on your head. The drivers had no problem reproducing probably down into the 30 hertz range pretty accurately. So, again, I'm really loving them. I'm really loving them. I'm getting used to the way they feel for long periods of time. So, I think these are a really great happy medium. It's impossible to make everybody happy with a pair of headphones. They're so personal, and that's why there's a zillion brands of them now and so many Signature Series headphones are out there. But these do come the closest I've seen to really making most people happy. So nice job with these, Harlan.
Yeah. The way I would describe them, they're like